Hi my YouTubers, I have a good recipe today. Today it's a little bit involved. We're going to be making chicken involtini. I don't know what it translates to, but for me it means chicken stuffed, rolled up chicken with some spinach, prosciutto, and mozzarella. So I took a few steps out that I'll talk you through because you don't need to see me pound chicken cutlets, but you do need chicken cutlets that are very thin. See, and this is that butcher paper I love. You can buy your chicken cutlets already thin, and if you need to put them thinner still, then you just a matter of pounding them a bit. But they need to get as thin as you can get them. So I did 4 because it's just me and Vin today. You could do as many as you like. Let me get this bigger one to show you on camera that I'm going to do. We'll start with the biggest guy here. Okay, so you have your chicken all pounded out. All right, my hands are clean. Just wash them. But chicken does make you feel sticky. I don't like that. Okay, here's the first step. We're going to fill it beautifully. We're going to put a little bit of spinach. Now the spinach I'll put in the description. It must be very dried, fresh. This is a whole 7-ounce or 5-ounce pack. And I boiled it. I drained it, and I did what we did, if you follow through my recipes, when we did the cucumber for the tzatziki sauce, how we took them in Scott towels and got all that excess water out. Same process. You just want to get them as dry as you can. You don't want water spilling out while you're frying this, because they do get breaded and fried. I'm going to do one complete on camera for you, so you could see, and then we'll come back when they're all ready to fry. You put the spinach on the bottom and put the prosciutto on the top, okay? And then you use whatever prosciutto you like. You can use ham if you don't like prosciutto. That's another thing. And a piece of mozzarella, okay? Those are your components. Those are your ingredients. Then, here's the tricky part. You have to roll it up, okay? As best you can. Don't be afraid to press the chicken. Roll it up, see? And now you have to secure it with toothpicks, okay, so that it doesn't come out in the frying process. It's not hard. And you will fry them with the toothpicks. Okay, this is just to keep it in place. And you put nice sizable, so you know they're there. You'll see them, okay? And then you have your breadcrumbs and egg. Let me get a fresh fork. Okay. Now, you simply take it. Let's move this a little bit. Now, I took a shortcut today. Remember, if you want to make fresh breadcrumbs, which is recommended in this recipe because it's extra delicious if you do choose that, here's just some beaten eggs. Season them as you like. I did a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, simple. Now, you take this. Let me just show you the breadcrumbs. We're going to move these because I'm only going to do one on camera for you, and then we're going to come back when they're prepared and ready to fry. Next step. I took an easy shortcut. I put some breadcrumbs seasoned already. I added a little extra parsley and fresh Parmesan cheese, shredded. But if you use all fresh, go to my chicken cutlet Parmesan video and watch. I describe and give you the recipe for fresh breadcrumb mixture for this dish, which will take it to the next level. But if you want to do what I do, take a shortcut. We all have different preferences. I cook a lot, and still I'm taking a shortcut. Just like you. I don't want to be here all day with this, see? Nice and egged. And you're going to bread them. Bread it very well. So we're going to fry them. And that is chicken involtini. How it's done. I used to be so intimidated about this recipe. And I always was intrigued and wanted to make it because I love chicken cutlets. I love chicken stuffed with different things. And I watched this on Hen House. And it's a show. And I seen the chef do it. He made it seem so easy that I said, you know what, I gotta try. And I did, and I made it beautifully. This is only the second or third time I'm making it. This is the third time. See what I'm doing here? I'm making sure I have breadcrumbs on all sides, because what I do when I fry it, I'm gonna be turning it. Okay, so now I have to find a dry place to put them. Let me get a Scott towel and a dish, somewhere for them to go until I fry them, as I'm prepping them. Let me get another, oh, look, I have a piece of parchment paper. And again, another point I want to make out, if you notice, I covered my wood cutting board with my chicken. This is dedicated to chicken, so you don't have any bacteria, okay? I was going to use parchment, but you could use either or. Cover it. Do not use a wood board unless I said in another video it's dedicated to your raw chicken recipes. You don't, and you still have to wash it with a light bleach water every occasion. Okay, enough of that. Let's get this onto there. I'm going to come back when all four are rolled and ready to saute in the pan and then show you the end created sauce in the pan. It's going to be delicious. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, YouTubers, as you can see, they're all breaded and ready to go in. I have about 2 toothpicks in each. That's the way to hold them. Now, be very careful and remember to take them out. I will remind you again, after they're fried, cooked, sauced, and ready to plate, I'll show you how I take them out. And I'll also suggest, if you're like me, I was intimidated in the beginning because I don't like the toothpicks. You know, I almost forgot to take one out. Not a good situation. All right, I could teach you what to do without. But for today, let's get this in here. And you can see I oiled the pan. This is on medium high. Now we're going to just have to keep turning them and turning them. I would say a good 25 minutes or so till they're golden brown on all sides and they have a temperature, they reach a temperature of 160 with, let me show you if you have one of these, with a meat thermometer, or let me see, whatever you got. I suggest you buy one because it's a great gadget to have. The digital is also nice and they're all under $20. See? This one's digital. You could turn it on and off. This one I think is not working for me right now, but in any event, this would be your easiest because you could put it right in and it will read. But you got to have, chicken must have an internal temperature of 165. Okay? These are the points. They'll all be in the description. Okay, you're watching those fry away. I got to get ready to turn them already. Okay, so let's see. I got a fork. I got the rubber. I'm using non-stick to fry them, which is another good tip. You really don't want to struggle in a stainless steel pan with this dish. I know I've done it in New York in my, see, look at that, ready to turn already, how golden. It has to be like that on all sides, so you're probably going to have to turn them each several times. See, and it's good that you can see the toothpicks. And just be gentle with them because they are filled with things that could fall out. We don't want them to fall out. We want to sear and seal. I'm trying to sear and seal because I see already my spinach and my prosciutto on one of them trying to get out. That's why you see when I bread them and when you bread them, get into those corners. Go put the breadcrumbs all inside, all up in there, all up in there. Do that a little bit more. Move things around. It's like my... Not bad for the induction. I gotta say, I'm liking cooking this. I don't think I'm gonna have to go to gas for a mini one. I was thinking, because I love cooking on fire and showing you like this up close. It's wonderful. I see several YouTubers on their channel using these, the gas small miniature. I might do it because there's so much more control on temperature. You know, this is a medium high here. You know, I'll get used to it, but if you don't have this, it's hard to convey if you're using gas and I'm using induction. But you get the gist of it. You want them golden on all sides. Okay, so I'm going to keep turning them till I get an internal temperature of 165, and then we'll come back and we're going to make a sauce in the pan for them. Very simple and very delicious. We'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back. I had to take them out. Got rid of some of the oil in the pan. Now we're going to put some butter, about 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. Okay, and then we're going to deglaze with wine and chicken broth, and then we're going to put them back in and let them saute a little 5 minutes longer. Here they are, show you. Here they are sitting. They're lovely, nice and golden. It took about 20 minutes. Alexa, cancel. Alrighty, let's get this butter melted. Get all those juicy bits up of the brown parts from the chicken. See, it's turning brown. That's our gravy. Now let's get that wine in is next. Okay, Let that sit a minute. Now you could add whatever else you like. You could add fresh parsley. You could add whatever herbs you enjoy at this point, or after we put the chicken broth. I'm a step ahead of myself. Let that simmer a bit. Now we're going to put in my handy dandy. Now you see for recipes like this why I love the 1 cup of the chicken broth. You know?
Alexa, cancel.
Now let that start to simmer away. You could add capers if you wanted to go piccata. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. Not much, you know, we watch our salt here. You do you. A little bit of pepper. Okay. And that's your simple sauce. You took out the oil. You added the 2 tablespoons to 3 of butter. If you like it a little more buttery, you can. Then you add the wine. He put a good amount, I mean, about a cup it seemed in the recipe when I viewed it. I held back a bit because I think there's enough liquid here, but I may do the full cup. We'll see. It smells outrageous. It smells outrageous of wine. I'll let that cook off a bit before I put them back. Well, we're going to start now because that's how they're going to continue to cook a little bit more, and then I'm going to come back for the finale and show you how I plate them and how we remember to take those toothpicks out. Yeah. I'm going to wash my dish. Plate them nicely again, see? And what I forgot to tell you, I think I did, when you bread them, I make sure the corners, and I did this too, in the frying, turning process, I get them up on their sides, just like I do with my meatballs, to seal any spill out, see? That one saved, but I still did that. I like to get them completely, see? There's nothing falling out now, because you took the time to do that. Breadcrumbs here at this level will start to pull up some of those juices in the sauce. Okay, I'm going to give it a 3 more minutes or so. Let the sauce reduce a bit and then we'll plate it. So we'll come back another 2 minutes. I don't like to make the video too long and bore you with the in-betweens. Okay, we're back now and at the final stages. It took a while to reduce. I took some of the smaller ones out. I left this big guy in there to show you. I'm going to take him out now. They're more than thoroughly cooked because they're in there extra, you know, maybe 15 minutes frying and then 15 minutes sauteing in the juices. Okay, but you know it's pretty much done when it's reduced down. You see it's bubbling. You have enough in there. There's all those goody bits. Now it's time to let that just sit and keep going. I'm going to put it on medium-low. Okay, that won't hurt that. It'll just get thicker. Here they are, my little beauties. Now, crucial, like I keep saying over and over, you must remember to take the toothpicks out. You do not want to bite down on a toothpick or have a guest say, oh my God, you know, I wouldn't even know what to do. Like I said, I'm going to also show you, I can tell you right now, if you're afraid to make them with the toothpicks like I was for fear of forgetting to take them out, just use wider, bigger, how would you say, wider, bigger. See, this one had 3. I felt for it and I almost forgot. But only put 2 so you'll never forget. Wider. Just use wider chicken cutlets, right? They're going to be bigger. And roll breadcrumb. Pan sear them with the seam down, and that will put it together. You won't need the toothpicks to hold it. I've done it before. It works. Let me feel. We got 3, so 2 and 3. There should be 3, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. 2, 4, 6. And it's my food, so my fingers are all over it because I'm eating it with my clean fingers in my house. Don't come for me, haters. I hear silly comments like that, you know. You scratched your arm and then you cut a chicken cutlet. Yeah, I did. I'm home, as you will be in yours making this. Now I'm having a little trouble, like you may see. Okay, it's out. Put that back over. Now I'm going to just rinse my hands. I'm going to cut and taste for you to see how delicious and elegant this is. It's not a difficult dish. It really isn't, but it's very elegant when you make it because it's stuffed with all delicious things. So let's take a small one, or should we take this big guy? Let's take this big boy over here. Let's get him some gravy, and then we're going to cut into him. Let's see now, form the film. It's really rich with the cream, the chicken broth and the wine. Let me tell you, I love a good wine sauce. And like I said, you could have put fresh parsley. You could have put parsley and capers, just capers. You could have turned this to anything you want. Anything you want and like. I like a lot of juice. I like a lot of sauce. And it's a good tip to take out. If you fried it in less oil, you won't have to take as much out. I want to know where to cut it so it looks so good, so that you can see. And voila. I'm very proud of that. Let me show you the other half. Look how pretty is that. How wonderful. And the prosciutto's in there. I gotta bite that. I gotta bite that. That's gotta be my cut. All right, let's see. And I'm not gonna burn myself either. Chicken's nice and cooked. See? It's nice and white and cooked. Now, let's cut it again, yet again, because I do not want to burn my mouth. I can see already. There's a hot spot. Let me taste a piece to see. Okay, it's not too hot to bite, so let's go for this one. Got a little juice on there. I taste that wine, baby. Excuse me. It is absolutely delicious. Make it. You won't be sorry. Like I said, I'm going to put all the tips and tricks in the description with the instructions, the recipe, and to remind you how to do it if you want to without the toothpicks, because I know they're a little intimidating and they're something that you must watch to take out on the finished plate. It's very important. But it is delicious and it presents like a restaurant. You're going to love it. Chicken Involtini in Jeanine's kitchen. Thank you.